I'm
What did you
fighting.
think about all the discourse around Caitlin Clark in the last year?
Um, well, I think on balance, what she has done for women's basketball, women's sports, and sports in general is freaking amazing.
Yeah.
You know, um, I do think that the phenom of what she did opened up some conversations that I think were pretty interesting and frankly pretty healthy around issues of race, gender, sexuality, business, competition. Um, I think much of it was very interesting. Like everything else these days, like Brandon, I talk about social media as being like a funhouse mirror. You know, I'm sure you've gone to like a carnival and a funhouse mirror, and you stand in front of those things, and you know it's not real, right? I mean, your legs are hugely long, you have no neck, you know, you're like this. It looks funny, it looks weird, and that's what makes it fun. But you don't panic, you know. Mom, what happened to my neck? What's happened to my legs? How am I going to walk around like this? But for some reason, people, particularly young people, look at social media, look at Twitter, and they think that it's real. They think that this is how most people actually think, and it's like, I don't fall for that,
Yeah.
but a lot of people do. A lot of people do, and I'm actually trying to think of the example where someone was like brokenhearted about what people were saying about them on. So, oh, you know what it was? It was Zeke Mayo. I don't know if you saw this, Brandon, at Kansas. Had a really bad game at home and they lost. And then he had deleted a lot of his social media, but apparently he went on it and looked at DMs, and they were horrible direct messages, racist, awful shit. And he was obviously crushed by it. He actually put it out on Twitter, like, "Hey, this, like, you know, I'm sorry for playing poorly." And it's like, I understand what he was trying to do, but you can't expose yourself to that. So unfortunately, a lot of the Caitlin Clark stuff, the worst part of it, got distorted as being bigger and more accepted by a lot of people than it really was. I think the vast majority of people saw her as this incredible player, understood that there were some racial undertones and overtones to what was going on. And it's important to be able to have that conversation from a place of empathy. And I think for the most part, people did. I really believe that.
Has women's college basketball continued to benefit from the Caitlin Clark effect this season? Now, a year removed from her being at Iowa.
Yes, there's no question about it. Now, it's probably not quite the same as it was last year. So I think you
Yeah,
have to understand there's going to be some type of drop off.
sure.
But I can tell you, and I've paid more attention to women's college basketball than ever before because we're covering it at Hoops HQ. Our writer Eden Lassie has done a phenomenal job, and we're going to be covering the women's tournament. She's going to be at the Final Four in Tampa. And I've gotten to know a lot of these coaches. Of course, I've known Gino a long time, but Lindsay Gottlieb and Corey Clausen and Vic Schaefer at Texas in particular. I can tell you the product has never been better, and the games have never been better. And what Juju Watkins and Paige Beckers and Lauren Betts and all these players are doing is pretty damn incredible. So. Yeah, it's not obviously not where the men's game is, but there's definitely a long tail there, and Caitlin Clark has helped put this thing on a new plane and a new dimension that it hasn't been before. And now it's up to the stakeholders in the sport to be smart business folks about it and really do what they can to make it grow.